All right, so non-pressure roof cleaning. So does the home have gutters? So again, these are more questions. Now we're getting into the roof cleaning aspect of it. So you can see how we're kind of going through each aspect of the cleaning and what to ask yourself as you're doing the quote. It's a lot though, right? So you want to make sure that you're setting your territory managers up for success. Have a checklist, right? Have that company portfolio. Have these things in place so when they go out, they're prepared. And then they're like, man, you're prepared, you know? Yeah, well, they come right when we show up. They're like, shoot, you guys must be the most expensive company in town. Well, we are, you know. We're the meanest, greenest soft washing company in there. You called the best. End of story, you know? And then this is why we show them how. All right, so where do the downspouts go? We did Michael Jordan's mom's house on Lake Norman, and the downspouts had a huge collection and a one giant pipe that went right out in Lake Norman. So when I came to pop inspect the job, what was happening? Big old pile of bubbles in the lake. I'm like, no, shut it down, shut it down. So we actually had to go in and put tennis balls in the gutters and block all the gutters and let them run over into the ground. So again, we didn't ask the question, where does your gutters go? Do you have a drainage system? Does it go to the lake? These are qualifying questions that will save you a lot of money in the back end, right? Because guess what? If the EPA or anybody else showed up on that job site that day, woo, we're shut down, you know, maybe for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, I don't know. But I caught it in time, you know, no harm, no foul. Everything we do use is biodegradable, right? So it's going in a body of lake, so we caught it right in time. They did one section of roof, but, you know, that was a teaching moment for my guys that they were like, look, this is a no-no, you know what I mean? If there was somebody driving a boat and they're like, what's going on here, you know, they call, then we're shut down. So going forward with that, asking these qualifying questions. So are there things in the yard that have to be moved? Like, we don't have these anymore, but if there was a clothesline in the backyard and you're spraying that roof, it's a windy day, you're buying the whole new wardrobe for that customer, right? Because they're looking tie-dye. So, you know, looking in the back, is there a deck back there? You know, do we need to wet the deck? Has the deck just been recently painted or stained? Yes, sir?
That's something I want to know. Decks. You know, when you clean the roof using a higher concentration of bleach.
Yes, sir.
How do you cover the deck or do you?
So he asked, you know, with the deck and using a roof mix, right? It's a stronger solution. What do we do? So in that case, always wet. Wet, 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 everything. Wet the deck, cover the deck with plastic, and then have your guys, you know, make sure that they're trained, that they know not to shoot over, because you still got to hit that ridge cap, right? So I have a guy, my ground guy, on the back of the house when he's just doing that ridge cap. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to spray this ridge cap, hop in the back, just make sure I don't get any overspray, because you will be surprised how far that will shoot. When you're up that high, that thing's going in the backyard. It might be hitting the little shed. It might be hitting the dog. I don't even know, right? So have that guy in the back and say, all right, you're good. Hey, hold up, hold up. You know, you're getting a lot of overspray. Stop there. Let's redirect. You know what I mean? You're a team. That's why we have two-man teams on roof cleaning jobs. So that ground guy's kind of coaching the guy spraying, right? And then that way you don't run into that. But yeah, do as much as you can. You know, the homeowner's going to appreciate that. Look, you got a nice Ipe deck. She's like, yeah, we just spent $50,000 on it. Well, guess what I'm doing? Covering that thing, right? So you're not having to restore it or buy a new deck or whatever, right? We had a deck. I guess it was down there in Lake Kiwi or whatever. And the guys there, it was a new crew. He, you know, just became lead tech and everything. He did it. You know, he was spraying the roof, went back on an Ipe deck, and it left spots all over. So we went and we restored her deck for free. You know, she was blown away. That's one thing we do. We go right back out there. You can ask any one of my territory managers. You know, if it's not me going out that day, it's one of my team, we're going to take care of it. That's in the name of good customer service. No matter what it is, we're going to take care of it, right? So setting yourself up. So inspect the roof for lifted shingles and or damage. Sometimes the nails will pop up and you'll have that bump. Just do a pre-inspection real quick. The customers love that. Like, yeah, we're going to do a little inspection of your roof if we see anything. And I tell them, look, I'm not a roofer, but if I see any nail pops or holes or anything, I'm going to let you know. That way you can call somebody to come out and take a look at that. That kind of stuff. How dirty is the roof? How hard will it be to clean? Can we get to all of the roof? I mean, that's key stuff, right? So what we'll do is we'll like, all right, there's this really hard spot. Like Sam, we were doing this big roof, and he's like, all right, we're going to have to put a a tree stand in the tree to spray this. Well, we have poles now, 32-foot poles that we have a soft wash wand that we can connect to it. So we got to think outside the box sometimes on these jobs, though. But I want to be the guy that thinks outside the box that gets those big jobs, right? We're going to charge for it, don't get me wrong. But we can handle those jobs that other people are just like, no way, you know what I mean? We have truck mount skids because when we go down in there, the driveways are so steep, you can't get a truck and trailer in there. That just nicks what? 80% of my competition, right? Because they can't get down in there with a trailer. So what are we going to focus on? Our wins, right? Where we're making the money. All right, what size ladder do they need? So those are our kind of pre-qualified questions that we want to ask when we're doing the roof cleaning. And then here's some before and after pictures, that I like doing. Have you guys ever heard of a hit piece? You heard about a hit piece? So a hit piece basically is if I do a really juicy, nasty building, roof, whatever concrete job, I get a really good before and after picture, and then I do the same thing I do with residential. I popcorn market it, and I market it to all the other guys. So if we're doing a hotel, for instance, Hampton Inn, well, guess what? The Hampton Inn next to you just got cleaned. They're going to be taking all your business. People like a clean place, and you just have that heart-to-heart with that property manager, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, that place is looking good, man. I think I'm going to stay over there. But guess what? We can clean yours and give you a really good deal because we're in the area, and then set it up. Let me give you a free proposal. And then you're quoting all the or all the hotels around that vicinity. You're doing unsolicited proposals. So if you put in $1 million in quotes, what's going to happen? You're going to get jobs. It's just the fact of life. The more proposals you put in each year, the more jobs you're going to get. It might be 1%, it might be 2%, but it's a percent. It's not a big old donut hole, right? You're doing it. You want to quote everything within a 2-hour bubble of your facility. Hotels, apartment complexes, TPO roofs, anything you can quote. Then you get a really good your picture, and you send that in with the proposal. So here's Hubble Lighting. This was CCL Label that makes all the sheets, the paper sheets. CCL Label's out of Clinton. We do their factory like every 3 years. We do their roof because they have air handlers. It's a health thing, right? It's the mold is the asbestos of the 21st century, really. You're setting it up. Don't let them have sick building syndrome. You're saying these words and it's like, what? The guy's like, yes, you ever heard of sick building syndrome? They shut down this whole factory because the roof was sucking in mold into the facility and people were getting sick. It's a big, big thing. It's not just aesthetics. It's, mildew. It's an algae. Yes, sir?
Are you going to talk about TPO roofs more? Or?
Yeah, commercial day.
Okay.
Yep. So just, when we get on the Saturday, we'll talk more about commercial. So, and this is that Bon Secours Wellness Arena downtown Greenville I was telling you guys about, that we got a bunch of quotes and they called us. This was the demo we did, and it was just night and day, right on 385, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, you got to get it done now. So... And then here's more roofs. We got our yard sign out there. We ended up doing, in this subdivision, we did like 26 homes or something like that. It was just, when you pulled in, it was really exciting. I loved it. I was like, yard sign, yard sign, yard sign, yard sign. I was like, who's not going to have us do their house? You know what I mean? There's 26 yard signs in this community. So, but just difficult roofs, when you get into these situations. How do we get up high, Can we get on this roof and then go up and get on the next roof? Like, we don't like getting on roofs when we do roof cleaning. I like doing it from the ladder. It's a lot safer. We have extension poles now. Our soft wash sprayers will reach 30 feet. But looking at that stuff, then it goes, Kevin's in the tree business right here. What am I going to do? I'm going to network with Kevin because guess what? My 5-year warranty, if there's roofs within 6 feet of the roof, voids the warranty. So now I'm going to be like, hey, Kevin, I got a client over here. She's going to be calling you. She has to get her trees trimmed so she can keep her warranty. He's going to love that. You know what I mean? Then he's going to be like, yeah, you need to get your roof cleaned because guess what he's going to be doing after I clean the roof? The tree trimming. It's that love relationship with all, your local roofing contractors, landscaping guys, tree guys, whatever it may be. Anybody you can network, we did a thing where we had Gatorades in a cooler, so when we were out flyering and in the community with our sales vehicle, if we saw a landscaper or somebody and, he's got the tie on, you can kind of see he's like the the lead tech or whatever, you drop by and you give them some Gatorade and say, hey man, we're in the neighborhood, you guys are working hard. If you get anybody that needs their roof cleaned and you point right to that house, it's like, see how they need that roof cleaning? Put in a good word for me. I'll give you another Gatorade next week. Where are you going to be? You know what I mean? $750 job for a $2 Gatorade all day long. Like little things like that you can do in your territory, you know what I mean? So we did donuts. We were, right Ben, we were doing donuts where we would give each territory manager a gift card with, I forget, $100 or $200 on there, and they would go buy donuts, and they would go all the realtor places around, and we would build relationships. You know, stop in, let them buy donuts for them in the morning. Hey guys, we just want to say we appreciate your leads. We've never had a lead from there before, but we don't know, you know what I mean? But we appreciate you. Here's some donuts. Remember us next time. You know, little things like that. So what kind of roof? Knowing the different shingle types is key. You know, you got 3-tab, you got architectural. I focus on architectural shingles myself. Why? Because it lasts longer, right? Those are like 30, 35-year warranties on those. You know, your 3-tabs, they're getting replaced because the roofing guys know that when they get hail damage, those 3-tabs, they're putting architectural shingles on now. Then you got metal roofs, then you got tile, barrel tile, you know, metal, all this stuff, right? So knowing the different types of roof, that way when you're talking to a builder and they're quizzing you, you got to know, you got to have your I's dotted, your T's crossed. And then calculating for pitch. So we'll talk more about that, but when you're quoting a job, you got to calculate for pitch. Are we going to use more chemical on it? You know, if it's like a mansard roof, you know, I'm going to use more cleaner on a mansard roof than I would, you know, a pitched roof. And then roof complexity. So like this roof, for instance, my ladder will go right here, but shoot, how am I going to reach all the way up there, right? That's a pretty far distance. So I know I need to bring an extension pole. I'm going to put that in the special instructions. Bring extension pole. How are we going to get around the house, the different things? You know, am I going to spray that metal roof that's around there? What do I need to do to protect that? Keep it wet, you know what I mean? Little things like that. And the customer's going to ask you those things. All right, I got landscaping. You know, we have people that have $60,000, $80,000 in landscaping around their house. They want to make sure you're taking care of it. This is an old school picture right here, guys. We're taking it back to the cargo van days. So in this picture, you know, this was a 3-tab shingle. It was a white, it's a gray shingle, if you will, right? On those, I had to almost do a 4.5% mix on that roof because it's so dirty. You need to know that because it's not your typical, you know, architectural, easy to clean roof. I have to use more chemical, more time, more coats, so I'm going to price that accordingly, right? And then here's an apartment complex. Night and day, you know, I show the customer these pictures. Bam. So Google Earth, you know, you got the before picture from Google Earth, and then 3 or 4 years later, Google Earth will update their pictures. And so after they clean the apartment complex, they got the after picture. And boom, that's a huge teaser, right, for apartment complexes. Look what we could do to your property. You know, be like, yeah, you know the owner's going to be flying over this place. They're going to love you if it looks like this. You know, and it's funny because we do a lot of TPO roofs that there's a new beer distributor here, and the guy was flying over and he didn't like the way the roof looked. Brand new building. He doesn't want dirt on that thing. So what did we end up doing? Cleaning the TPO roof because it had red clay on it. Gutter butter, baby, all day long. So, and then, you know, another roof right here. This one's an easy one, but it's like, okay, how do I get that angle of the roof, right? So you have to set your ladder up. You can set it up on the dormer, then reach over. But just knowing how to do that. And again, our technicians are certified. They're trained how to kind of do this kind of stuff. But letting them know on the special instructions or letting the homeowner know how we're going to deal with those different situations. They want to know.
If you're washing the house the same day you're washing that roof, you're going to hit them dormers real quick before you start on the roof. Because a lot of times you get there, you start the roof first, right? Because you want to wash top down.
From top down, correct.
But then you don't want to rinse off your roof chemicals. So do you do your dormers real quick and then start on your roof?
You can do that, yeah. That way when you're rinsing your dormers, you're not rinsing the roof. But typically we do the roof first. It just all depends, you know what I mean? Because we'll do the roof first, and by the time we get down, it's already been cleaned, you know what I mean? We'll probably start there and then work our way around the house. That way it's already clean and dry. So when you do the house wash, it wouldn't even matter, you know? All right, so concrete cleaning. We do use a surface cleaner with a pressure washer because we have red clay. So Florida guys are nice. You can just, you know, treat the concrete. You don't have to surface clean it. Here we have red clay, so we do. You know, up north, you got some really, really bad funk on that stuff, so we call it mowing the algae down. So you surface clean it, then you will post-treat, and it keeps it cleaner longer. But I just let them know, you know, we have red clay and heavy algae, so we have to run the surface cleaner over it. Then we usually pre- and post-treat. So we use 2,500 psi and treat the concrete after the cleaning. Sometimes we will pre-treat to speed it up, you know. If it's really, really bad, I'm going to pre-treat it with a 1.5%, 2% mix and then surface clean it, and then if I have to, post-treat. So here's some pictures. So again, if you're a territory manager, the customer's going to want to know, hey, we're going to go ahead and pre-treat and post-treat. That way it lasts longer. So we're not just coming in and surface cleaning the driveway, and then it's going to come back, what, greener, thicker the next time, because Roundup did a great job. They explained that you have to kill the root of the weed or else it's going to come back bigger and greener and thicker the next time. Same thing with mold and algae. It's kind of like cutting your grass. It's going to come back greener and thicker the next time. So you're going to use examples with the homeowner. You know, we're going to kill the mold and algae, we're going to spray it, we're going to treat it, and we're going to kill it 99.9% so it will last longer. Now it's going to take longer for it to grow back, and it won't come back greener and thicker the next time. So here's some pictures right there. And I showed these pictures. You'll see them in the book. And then I just go through my before and afters, you know, with them.